Hello, my friends. I have been away for a little bit now. I think it's been about a week, but my husband was in town finally, and we just needed some much needed family time, and I needed some no worky type of time, if you know what I mean, which I never do, but I did. No drawing, no editing, no crafting, literally nothing at all. Okay, that sounds like I just sat around, but I kind of did. I binge watched some shows. I caught up on some series, new series. Loved Yellow Jackets. I caught up on SVU. I watched Adolescence. What else did we watch? Oh, Found on Peacock. So good. Probably my favorite out of all of the ones that I've watched so far. And now I'm on a show called Paradise, which is on Hulu. Also very good. Anyways, the point is we spent a lot of quality time together. My husband built a Bailey chair for our new dog. It's incredible and so cool. He was home for 5 days and we did everything you could possibly think of in 5 days, because that's what you got to do when you're a slope wife. You just got to roll with the punches, especially during ice road season. But we are back, and today I'm super pumped because Canva has upped their game in the Dreamlab area. They have added an add image feature in Dreamlab that I am loving, because you can use the image as a reference point. And I know that a lot of people aren't going to love this, especially designers, because they're going to feel like people are going to screenshot their image and then pop it in there like they do in other things. I don't necessarily condone that. I think that anything you use as inspiration is okay, as long as your final product looks totally different. I also love more to be able to either take a picture out into the world. Let's say you're at Michael's and you love an aesthetic, or you love something that you have found, taking a picture and then loading that in, or taking your own drawings for different things that you've created. In this case, I'm going to be using some of my artwork that I've already created, whether that's on Procreate or somewhere else, and I'm going to upload them, and we're going to use those to create new designs that are in Dreamlab. So let's hop over to Dreamlab and get started. Okay, so we are in Dreamlab now, and as you can see, it looks just like it normally does, except now when we click on add image, you can actually add an image now instead of it will be there later or whatever it used to say. So we can use two different things. We can do a style reference, which references the style for an image, or we can use a structure reference, which says uses the shape and structure for an image. So it really depends what you're looking for. So the first one I'm going to do is one of my digital papers that I really love. I want to put that in here and basically have it create more of them, ones that would basically go together. I think this would be a really great way to be able to create a full bundle. So you could create one by yourself, and then you could put it into here, and you could create as many as you need to create a full bundle. Digital paper is usually sold in bundles of 5 to 10, sometimes more. And so I like the idea of being able to use your own work, of course, and then create multiples so that it kind of quickens your workload. I'm going to select style reference, and then I'm going to upload my digital paper. Okay, so now that we have our image uploaded, we can choose right down here the image influence. How much influence does the image that you're uploading affect the generated images that it's going to generate for you? So I'm going to say a high influence and then use image. And now I'm going to tell it what I would like. So I'm actually going to use this to create multiple digital papers. So create a background image that is watercolor in hot pink. All right, so create a background image that is watercolor in hot pink with gold foil accents. And then for style, I'm going to leave it on vibrant because that is what I'm looking for, but you can choose any style you'd like. And then I'm going to do a 1:1 ratio because that keeps it in a square, which is what a digital paper needs to be. And we'll click on create. I love how it says getting out my sketchbook, camera, and paintbrushes. It always has something cute that it puts in there. It's really cute. I love it. Okay, excellent. So as you can tell, it basically took the image that I wanted it to use and it created 4 new images. So if we were to click on, let's say this one here, that looks beautiful. Now we also have the option now to make changes, which is unbelievable. I love this. I feel like they are really improving all the different things that you can do in Dreamlab, and I love that. We also now have the ability to see the prompt details, so we're able to make any changes that we would like to make. We can put those in here, which is a really awesome new feature. And then we also have the ability to see a more in-depth prompt that they have created using our smaller prompt, which is great. We could copy this right here and we could put that into a document if we wanted, and we can save that for later so that we can use those for future prompts if we wanted to do that. So that is fantastic. So next what I want to do is I want to upscale this image. As you can see, it did the resolution at 1120 by 1120 pixels. And so since we have a pro membership, we can go ahead and upscale this. This Arby's Andy's mint milkshake. It's literally to die for. Okay, so now we have our image and it is fully upscaled, so we can go ahead and download that. So you can upscale each and every one of these. We can make a full bundle. We could do all sorts of things with it just like this. So I love the idea of using a digital paper that we have already created and then being able to basically create numerous out of just that one, really cutting down our workload. And the next one I want to try, we're going to do style reference again and then choose a file. I'm going to go to my Tumblr wraps and find some that I want to use basically the same idea. Okay, so I'm going to upload a design that's got a lot of vibrant colors. It's kind of got a little bit of that tie-dye effect to it, and it's got leopard print. So I want to use this design to create some new types of Tumblr wrap designs. So I want it to be a mid-level reference. Okay, so I'm going to click use image, and this time I'm going to use the same term of background. So I'm going to say create a background image that is bold colors and leopard print. Okay, so I'm going to leave it just like that, and it's going to use that Tumblr wrap that I have already created, and I used Procreate to create that. So I'm going to see how it does with creating some more that we could potentially use for more Tumblr wraps. In this case, since I'm doing a Tumblr wrap, I don't want it to be a square, so I'm going to switch it to the 16 by 9. It's not necessarily going to be the perfect shape. We will still need to resize that for whatever shape Tumblr that we are designing for, but this will give us the right type of layout, the right dimensions to work with. Okay, so then we're going to hit create, and I'm going to still keep it at vibrant because that's what I'm looking for. Molding pixels into perfection. Just give me a moment. Love it. Okay, I actually love these. I love these so much. These would make such good Tumblr wraps. Okay, so let's check this one out right here. Ooh, I love how it put all of this together. This would make such a cool Tumblr wrap. So we can go ahead and we could upscale this one and then we could resize it for a Tumblr. So another great generation. I love how it did that. So cool. This would also be great to do for patterns or different things if you sell on like Spoonflower or somewhere else. If you have a pattern that sells really well, maybe popping it in here, and then it could generate some more that are along the same lines if you have, like I said, something that's already selling well. All right, so next up I want to do some clip art. So I'll take a design that I've already created that maybe either sells well or something like that, and then we will use that to help our generation and create some more that are just like that. So let me go ahead and grab some clip art that I have created, and I'm gonna click choose a file. All right, so this is one of my top sellers. It's been selling for years and years and years, and so I want to put this one in here. So we have a barn and we have some checkered buffalo plaid. We have a beautiful red truck. We have a Christmas tree. So I want to use this as a reference image now. So this kind of gives us an idea of how it will do with multiple different elements in an image. So we'll click on that one and let's see. Create a watercolor illustration of a red truck with what about a green wreath on the front grille. Let's see what else. I think that's pretty good. So let's just leave it at that. Instead of vibrant, let's go ahead and switch that. And I'm just going to click on smart and have it choose. I'm going to keep it at 16 by 9 so that I get a good amount of room for our illustration, and we'll click create. Okay. This went differently than I thought, and I actually love it. I didn't think that I would. Okay, so this one is probably the closest to what I asked for. This is actually really cute. We could totally work with this. I love that it actually kept the background. That's cool. The only thing I would maybe change would be right here. This looks odd, but I could probably work with it adding in different elements. But the one that's catching my eye is actually this one. I would have never thought to put buffalo plaid on the bed of the truck, and I actually really love that. I see that we do have like that barn door kind of got mixed together there right here. And then it looks like the outside of the barn is kind of like right here, but I actually really love that. So the only thing we could maybe change would be right here, the glass in the windows. This is definitely my favorite. I love the idea of having the buffalo plaid on the truck bed. That's so cool to me. I really love that. Let's see what happens when we go ahead and try to make a change to the image. So let's say change the windows to a clear glass. Let's see what happens when we try to make that type of change. I love the bed of that truck. That is such a cute idea. And actually, I think that would sell really well. I'd buy it. Not so sure that did it. Not loving that. That did not work how we wanted. But this one right here, I'm a huge fan. In fact, I might do some designs myself, draw out some more designs and stuff with this kind of idea, with part of the truck being a design like a buffalo plaid or something. That's really cool, and I haven't seen that anywhere. So that might set some designs apart this year. I'll go ahead and upscale this one, and we can see what we can do with that later. Okay, now let's go ahead and do one more real quick. I want to do another one that's like a clip art of just like a single image clip art. So like with this one, there was multiple elements. I want to do one with just a single clip art. All right, so I found some cute little fluffy bunnies. So I think we could do something with that. Maybe we can get some more options that would match this type of aesthetic. So we have these cute little bunnies, and they have some eggs. This time I'm going to keep the image influence at a midpoint, and then I'm going to ask for, well, I don't want bunnies this time. How about ducks? We can switch it to ducks and see how it does with referencing that image to create some ducks that look similar. Realistic watercolor ducklings that are cuddling and sitting next to colored Easter eggs. We'll see how it does with that. And we got illustration. I think I do want to keep it there. Yeah, and then we'll keep it at 16 by 9. Let's see what we get. Oh, these turned out so sweet. So it really does look like these would go perfectly within that bundle with these bunny rabbits. These turned out really beautiful. I just love ducks. Okay, anyways, but we could easily remove the background. These would go so wonderful with these little bunnies. I love that. So now let's do the exact same thing. I'm not gonna change anything, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to change the structure reference. So instead of style reference, this time we're going to use structure reference, and I'm going to use that same exact image. And we're just going to see what the difference would be with the output. All right, so we're going to click use image, and then we will click on create. Let's see if we have any differences at all. Oh, look at that. Okay, so there is quite a difference. So we have this one here where we did the style reference. So basically taking the exact style that is like drawn or colored in. And then this one where it's the structure of it all. So where are the animals and where are the eggs and what is the whole concept of the image? What a difference. I really love that. In fact, to be totally honest, I actually love these ones more than I love these ones down here. These are really beautifully done. That's stunning. I am super impressed. I really love this new add image section. I think it's going to be a huge game changer for a lot of us. Well, my friends, it has been wonderful to be back at it, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had a blast jumping in there today with you guys. I love that add image feature now. I'm going to be using it like crazy. I think my favorite way to use it is exactly what I was showing you, is using something that you've already created and popping it in there, almost using it as an assistant. That's my favorite way to use AI, using it as an assistant for any tasks or anything that you need just a little bit of help in. Maybe not doing it from scratch, but helping you create more of something. Or like with me with ChatGPT, I mean, I have it make me schedules, I have it tell me what to make for dinner, but it's not cooking the dinner, right? It's just helping me out. So I love that they have this feature. I think it does a wonderful job at generating basically more of what you already have given it. But I love the idea of being able to use any image you want as a style reference. So, you know, if you have any drawings that you've created in Procreate, pop those in there and see how you can get some more. If you have digital paper you've created, pop those in there, see how you can get some more. If you're out at Michael's or Target or Walmart or wherever, farmers markets or whatever, and you see a design that you really like, you know, take a picture, pop it in, see what other things that you can draw inspiration from and kind of create maybe a whole new area of design for yourself. So I really love this feature. I love all the different things that they are bringing to the table, especially in Canva Dream Lab. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you're going to try some of this stuff out. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up so it gets pushed out to all the other people who are interested in Canva Dream Lab. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notified every single time I post a video. Now go out, go design a life you love, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!